Today, someone told me that instead of struggling with what others say, they struggle with what they say about themselves. We can definitely be our own worst critic and biggest enemy. How many of you ever struggle to finish a project because of that? You compare yourself to others and think you're not good enough. You think whatever you make isn't worth anything, so you give up on it. The thing with that is, who cares? We're so busy holding ourselves to some random standard that we forget it doesn't really matter. This was actually about game design. So you make a good game or a bad game, so what? World keeps turning. That might sound like a negative, because then what's the motivation to do anything? World keeps turning regardless. It's a fine balance we walk, and that's why it gets scary when people are depressed, because they start to lean more toward, it doesn't matter, therefore I should not be here. But as I've said in other videos, something is better than nothing. Nothing has no meaning at all. It's nothing. At least with something, we can give it meaning. I have a video on another channel called A Message to the Depressed, and the channel is Why I Defy. So if you want to hear me talk about that topic, then check that out. My point here is that once you establish that you'd rather have something than nothing, you can just do stuff without judging yourself so harshly. I look at my work and I still see a lot of mistakes. I even have thousands of people pointing them out to me now that I'm in the public eye. But again, so what? Would they rather I don't make any music, write any books, or make any reviews? No. Okay, some actually would say yes, but I now have a lot of people who want me to do it, just because they would rather have something from me than nothing. And you have to be the same for yourself. Just get it done. Nothing is perfect. Projects with millions of dollars in budget still have mistakes and problems. You're not alone. Even the biggest stars with all the editing and everything still make mistakes in movies. They do thousands of takes just to get things right. So really, the issue here is expectation. You expect too much. Learn to let go of your creations. Make them, be satisfied you've put in enough work, then let them go and move on to the next. In a few years, you'll probably find things to appreciate about them, and you'll be glad you pushed through the hard times. It's just hard to see that right now, because all you're feeling is the negatives from the expectations. To put it another way, think about George Lucas in Star Wars. He keeps going back and editing, and you see everywhere people hate the fact that he edits. Just leave it alone, it's a masterpiece. Sure, it's not perfect, it never will be, but again, so what? Did it bring joy to a lot of people's lives? Was it still fun? Was it still entertaining? It's easy to become a harsh critic of yourself when you look at how many critics are out there, but honestly, a lot of critics are useless. They're not creating anything, unless constructive, a waste of everyone's time. So you really need to tune that sort of chatter out, and the same goes for you. If you're criticizing yourself to the point of actually not completing anything, then you're not only wasting time criticizing, you're wasting time not creating, not getting things done. Listen, it's been a long time since I first wrote a book, and if I go back to that first one, I can just see mistake after mistake after mistake, and sometimes I just wonder what I was thinking. It seems easy to me now, but I've had a lot more practice since then. But if I had just stuck with that first book and kept on rewriting it, I wouldn't have another 2 done by now. So look, it's good to repeat things and try to get them right and keep on working on the same project over and over, but you have to know when to stop. At some stage, you're going to be fixing things that are already fixed, which means you end up breaking them. Just get things done. Put it out there, move on to the next project. Learn to let your creations go. Then, even if you or others say that sucks, you'll be like, yeah, probably. Anyway, I'm busy on this new thing that probably also sucks. But I don't really want to waste my time dwelling on things that don't really matter, so whatever. The truth of creating anything is that most art will never succeed. I always felt that was the lamest insult people used with me. Like they were just absolutely pathetic for even thinking they could go there. Telling me my books would never make it? Like, yeah, probably won't. Is that meant to cut me deep? I know how hard it is to make it in the writing industry. I know how hard it is to make anyone think your books are okay. Stating the obvious isn't going to upset me. I'm just going to think you're pathetic for actually thinking that was worth saying. Hey man, following your dreams and creating things, you'll never make it. You're going to be a loser forever. Yeah, probably. At least I'm trying though. What are you doing? There are so many time wasters on this planet, it's just... Look, we're a safe species, we have a lot of free time, and unfortunately we can fall into that trap ourselves too. So if something is holding you back, you have to learn to change it. Every emotion you feel should be driving you forward. Everything you do should be helping your future in some way. It's all about programming the brain. I'm going to elaborate on all these topics on my other channel, Why I Defy, once I actually have the time. So yeah, look, this stuff is hard, and you never really know what's going to be successful. I'm sure you've come across a movie, a song, or a trend that shouldn't have made it big, but did anyway. See, when it comes to entertainment, it doesn't matter if it's perfect, good, bad, or whatever. It matters if it's entertaining. And the same is true for everything in life, even in business. It only matters if it serves its purpose. You'll see some companies do well when logically they shouldn't, and you'll see some great companies fail for the same reason. You'll even see people promoted ahead of you and think, but they're useless, how on earth does that make sense? Well, they probably got things done. Or maybe they went and asked for the promotion while you never felt you were good enough. Your boss is in a position of power, but they probably didn't feel good enough at some stage either. Keep that in mind. You're not alone with any of this. Everyone is insecure in some way. Just some of us use that to drive ourselves forward instead of hold us back. So the truth of all this is you just have to do things. Finish them. Even if they're not good enough, just get them done, because something is better than nothing. Want proof of that? I just uploaded a video that didn't really contain video. I'm working on a huge project right now and only had a couple of hours to spare. I mean, we could say the black screen wasn't black enough, or I stumbled on a few points, or that I wasn't clear. But I was asked a question and I answered it. Did I get my message across? Well, read the comments. Then tell me if I should have uploaded nothing, or found the perfect footage before making this video. Someone wanted an answer now, and I gave it to them. Therefore, despite a lack of footage, this video served its purpose, even with all its mistakes and shortcomings. I'm not saying don't put effort into things, definitely do. Just think of return on investment. If you were at a job, and you asked your boss if you could spend extra time on something, knowing full well that they have to pay you, think if they'd give you permission. Return on investment. Know when to stop, get things done, something is better than nothing. And everything has issues and faults. So expect that, rather than the impossible standard of perfection you keep chasing. Hope that helps. Good luck.